I have the Creative Studio version 4.0 training manual on the screen, and I'm in section 6, which is point-to-point, the P2P section. And I'm going to do a little demo here by following this, and it says exercise will focus on point-to-point pattern and file. Click on the arrow next to the P2P icon. Our two options are line and pattern. So when I do this, I'm going to make sure that I have pattern selected. So I'm going to minimize the training manual, start Creative Studio and standalone. Just click OK here. I'll click Cancel here. And I'm going to do what it says. Here's the P2P icon. This little arrow, I will click that arrow, and it says I can choose line or pattern. I have it set to pattern. That is my default because that is what I usually use. Now I'll bring back up the manual and follow along. I'm just going to go down. It says start Creative Studio, create a project called P2P exercises, and all this kind of stuff. Create a group called Sawtooth Frame. Okay, I'll minimize this. So I want a group here that's called Sawtooth Frame. Got that done. I'll click OK, and there's my quilt group. Okay, I'll minimize. I'll go back and get my training manual. So you can do this right on screen. So I've created the sawtooth frame. It says add pattern sawtooth frame P2P triangle single loop. Okay, I'll minimize this again. Go get a pattern. This pattern is talking about is in the training patterns for Creative Studio. Okay, I need to get to the C drive and find the Creative Studio training patterns. Okay, here's my folder for patterns for Creative Studio training. I'll open it and go and get the pattern that it told me I needed, and that is this P2P triangle single loop. So this is in alphabetical order, so go down to P2P and find triangle single loop. There's P2P triangle single loop QLI. There it is. I'll select it and see what else it tells me that I need to do. So let's go back. What does it need to do now? It says get the sawtooth frame block on the CAD screen. Click repeat patterns, then OK. Okay, get the sawtooth frame block on the CAD screen. I'll minimize this. And let's go down to find that. Sawtooth star. Oh, where's my sawtooth frame? I think this is it right there. Select it. For the moment, I'm done with this. So I'll go back. I have the sawtooth frame in the preview window. It says choose repeat patterns property window that you use to put in sawtooth block. Highlight P2P triangle single loop pattern. So here's what I'm going to do. I'll minimize this I want to put this on the screen. So I'll go to repeat pattern, click it, click OK. Now I have that sawtooth frame on the screen. So just go back to my training manual. We'll follow this along. And if you do this, it says close the repeat patterns property windows you used to put in a sawtooth frame. Highlight the P2P triangle single loop pattern. So let's go do that. So I'll need to close this. I'm going to highlight this. Go back to the manual. It says we need to know the height of the area to set the height of the P2P pattern. We go down here, what does it say? It says click on the measure icon or Alt-M, click on the top of the arrow, and then the bottom. Measure is shown in the box. So what is it telling me? To measure this height from here to here. So let's go do that. I can click on the measure icon, or I can go Alt-M, and I can just measure from there down to there. And it says it's 1.23. All right, click to get out of that. So now what does it tell me to do? It says 1.25. Notice it says the cayenne blue and all this. So what do? We take the P2P triangle single loop, and you see what the size is right there. It says if I want the triangle loop to be a 1/4 inch shorter than the triangle, I will set the height of 1 inch. So let's minimize this. So what am I going to do here? I'm going to set this to the height to 1 inch down here in the properties. The height right there. This is the height of this pattern. 1 inch. Aspect is on. Freeze aspect is on. I'll make this 1 inch because remember it's about 1.23. I had this 1.25. Make this 1 inch. Let's put a 1 in there. Click this box and it'll change the width of it. Now I'm going to do a little bit of manipulating this, I think. I think I'm going to set the grid size to the height of this right here. So I'm going to go over to View, change my grid size to 1.5. That should work. We'll check it. Now my grid is like 1.5. What I think I'm going to do is move this around so that it all lines up. I'm going to select this whole thing, hold down the Control key, I'm going to press the right arrow at the bottom, and apparently it's not quite 1.5. Let me check something. Okay, I made a slight mistake. I should have made my grid size 1.25, not 1.5. Okay, 1.25. I think that's going to work better. Now I'm going to select this and use the arrows to line it up with the grid. Okay, that looks good. Okay, I've got that all set. So let's go to the manual. Just see if you print some of this out, you can follow right along. See, here's questions and answers. These are very helpful. So now we want to be clicking some points. And here it shows us right here what point to click. with point 1, point 2, point 3, point 4, and so on. Okay, I'll show you what happens when we do that. I'm going to minimize this. Now I'm going to use Alt-P because I want to use the mouse. So I'll go Alt-P, which is pattern. It says P, I draw a P2P pattern. I have it selected. I'm going to turn on my grid snap. I can just hit the G key and this should highlight. There it is. Now snap there. There's point 2, point 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to right click to end it and then right click to exit. Go back to our manual. What's it say to do next? It says click escape twice when done entering points. So we've entered those points. So what are we going to do next? If the loop, say, looks good, keep clicking. Well, I want to go down and skip some down to another area. It's showing how to put this in. You can just follow along and, do all of these exercises. So I'm going to go back to my Statler. See, if I start over here, I can put these in and go back and get Alt-P. And I want to click here, there. See what it's doing? I can right click to end that, and then I'll go over here and I can fill that in. I think I'm going to do one other thing while I'm here. Is I think I'll highlight this one. I don't want that. I'm going to turn this to a boundary. Okay, I highlighted this sawtooth frame. I want to convert it to a boundary. Pattern to boundary. There you go. Now I think what I'm going to do is select this one and right click, and I'm going to see what happens here if I go and use order join. Okay, it order joined all of those. And I'm going to get out of that. Go here, right click and do an order join. So what is it going to do? See, now here's what I don't, I wouldn't want it to do. So I clicked here and I order joined these and it would sew in the correct order. Then I clicked here and now it's going to start with this pattern here. Next, and it'll go around, then it'll tie off, and then it'll go here to start again, tie on, and go this way. But I wanted to do these first, and then this one. So I'm going to right click this one, and I'm going to go ahead and do the order join. Okay, now I'm going to click this one and do the order join. So what does it do? Now it starts here, sews. Let me get this down where you can see. Starts here, sews across the top, down this side. Then it will start there and sew this way and stop right there. So that's using order join. So we can use a lot of different features as we do this that we could not do in version 4. So this is just a little intro to the manual and to using P2P. So I hope this helps someone.